Welcome back. Now news from sports. The recently concluded Rugby World Cup helped attract quite a few Indians to the sport. Former India rugby captain Chaitanya Singh was down in Goa to watch the finals at a sports pub in Baga. Chaitanya is quite satisfied seeing the sport get growing attention in the country today. However, the Mumbai-based veteran hopes that rugby infrastructure improves in a big way in India.
Chaitanya Singh shares a similarity with India's first ever cricket captain C.K. Naidu. Chaitanya led the Indian rugby team for the first time on field in 1998. Ever since, the Bombay Gymkhana player has been a regular on the Indian side. Nasir Hussain took over from Chaitanya in 2005 as captain of the Indian national rugby team.
Well, it was a fantastic time. First international to the Asian Rugby Football Union back in 1998. Had the pleasure of leading the Indian team then. So, formative years, got a lot of groundwork done, a lot of systems and structures were put into place. And I think we're seeing the rewards of that now.
We see just one full-fledged rugby ground in India. It's quite a sad thing that we see just one rugby ground in India. You feel that there should be more, there could be more, and the sport could grow?
Yeah, I mean, like any growing sport, infrastructure is always a major concern. Football's had its fair share. We've seen even hockey, which has been the national sport, struggle with infrastructure. Rugby being a new sport probably struggles more than any other sport. But yes, I think if we want the sport to grow, if we're going to get serious about the Olympic Games, which now the rugby is part of, then infrastructure needs to come through. There needs to be development of the sport, grassroots level. But pitches and access to rugby is the most important.
Do you feel somewhere down the line rugby still remains to be an elitist sport, and the common man somehow feels that he'd rather stay away from it and go into cricket because there's more money there, and he looks at rugby as the elite sport? So do you feel that mentality needs to change?
Well, I think if anything, it's changed. So there is obviously no money in rugby at this point. There's obviously a lot of money in cricket, so you're going to see people gravitate towards areas where they can make a living out of the sport. But having said that, it's not an elite sport anymore. We see rugby being played from the Maidans to the upper clubs. So it is spreading. It's now part of the armed forces, the railways, the navy. It's part of the NGOs. So, it is growing in all those pockets. And it's no longer, there are only 2 elite clubs that play rugby now.
Our sports reporter Nikhil Pereira with video journalist Sarvesh Veluskar from Baga.
In view of attracting larger crowds to the stadiums, Goa Football Association are planning on kicking off I-League matches later in the evening once the floodlights are in operation. GFA President Srinivas Dempo told Prudent that he will pursue the telecasters of the I-League to cooperate with GFA's proposed revised timing. But there could be a clash with the kick-off time in Kolkata as the Salt Lake City Stadium too witnesses a late kick-off.
Goa Football Association are hoping against time that the floodlights will be in place before GFA's Golden Jubilee exhibition match, where Zambia will visit Goa. This after SAG had said the floodlights would be ready by the first or second week of December. But GFA will be happy that the floodlights will help the I-League matches as well, as matches could kick off late, which could attract larger crowds.
The challenge seems to be only because we have been given an assurance that by early December, if not late November, where the India-Zambia match is planned, which we are very hopeful that the floodlights will be operational till then. But by early December, definitely the floodlights will be in operation. That's the assurance given to us. But the challenge, as you said rightly, is only from the broadcaster's end. We will ensure that GFA makes the right pitch so that a fair treatment is given to also the Goan matches to be shifted at a later date, at a later time, just like the matches in Calcutta are happening. And I think from that point of view, the Goan teams could be much better prepared in having a good entertainment program and likewise, so that the timings would suit and more people will come to watch it. So we are very hopeful, and I'm sure, I can only give an assurance that GFA will try its best to move matches to a later time.
When do you see a meeting like this happening between GFA and the broadcasters to pitch them the idea that floodlights will come in Goa and we can have matches at a later time? Yeah,
once we are more confident when the actual groundwork starts happening and it makes some progress, and once GFA is very sure about floodlights being installed and in place by early December, I think immediately we will have to start the dialogue to see and make our pitch for matches to be shifted to a later time.
Our sports reporter Nikhil Pereira with video journalist Devendra Gaonkar from Panji.
And with this, we come to an end of this news bulletin. Keep watching Prudent Media.